So this is the Avyakt Murli of 17th of April 1984. The signs of those who are multi-million times fortunate. The signs of those who are multi-million times fortunate. Today the Father, the bestower of fortune, is looking at all his fortunate children. Baba is the bestower of fortune and we all are fortunate children. Every Brahmin soul is a fortunate soul. So, who are we now? We are Brahmin souls, the true Brahmins. Baba calls us Brahmins, because we are at this time upholding the highest religion that is being established by God Himself. And also, you see, in the world out there, when yagyas are created, havans are created, then they assign Brahmins to sustain the yagya, to protect this yagyas and havans. So, similarly, here, this is the yagya of world transformation. Baba wants the entire world to be transformed from this old and aged, low grade state to the most elevated golden age stage. And so we Brahmins are sustaining it and protecting it. So we are Yagya sustainers and we are Yagya protectors. We are Brahmins. So every Brahmin soul is a fortunate soul. So let's take a moment to see ourselves as fortunate souls, truly fortunate souls. And if you remember in the title, what was written, what was said in the title, we are multi-million times fortunate. To become a Brahmin means to become fortunate. To belong to God means to become fortunate. All are fortunate, but after belonging to the Father and receiving the inheritance of the different treasures from the Father, you become number wise in claiming a right to that elevated inheritance and using it in your life of all rights, and in constantly increasing the rights you have received in the right way to bring about expansion. So we all have rights now, you see, because we are all children of Baba, God Himself. So we automatically have all rights. You see, we already are so entitled, if you want to see it that way. But we also have to increase these rights by using them in the right way. Some just remain fortunate and others become 100 times fortunate. Some become 1,000 times fortunate, some become 100,000 times fortunate, and some become multi-million times fortunate. So, who here wants to become only 100 times fortunate? Raise your hands. No one? Who wants to become 1,000 times fortunate? Don't you want to become a multi-million times fortunate soul? So, why be contented with 100,000 or 100,000? Yes, so see yourself as a multi-million times fortunate soul. This is because to use the treasures in the right way means to increase them. Whether you use them to make yourself complete or whether with the completion of yourself you use them to serve other souls. Yeah, in the world they use this phrase to kill two birds with the same stone. To be able to do two things simultaneously, to serve yourself, that is, bring yourself to completion, but also use this to serve others. This is when we start to multiply all that God has given us. You see, if you have two children, let's say, one is very smart, and so if you give $100 to him, maybe he can then use it in the right way, invest it in the right way, and do some business or whatever, and then come back with $1,000. So he's just made 10 times more profit, you see. On the other hand, let's say you have the other son who is not that smart, and you give him the same $100, and he may leave it as it is, or maybe even spend something out of it, and he could be left with half of it, 50, 40, $30. So next time, whom would you want to give more? The one who multiplied it so many times, or the one who reduced the value of that money? So clearly the one who increases its value, right? So similarly, Baba would give to those souls who have the ability of using Baba's wealth, the wealth of knowledge, in the right way for themselves and for the service of others, and thereby multiplying it. So perishable wealth diminishes as you use it. Imperishable wealth increases multi-million times as you use it. This is why there is the saying, spend it and eat from it. The more you spend and eat from it, the more prosperous the Father, the Emperor of all emperors, will make you. Spend it and eat from it. The more you spend and eat from it, the more prosperous the Father, the Emperor of all emperors, will make you. This is why those who use their treasures of the fortune they have received for service will continue to move forward. Yeah, we all want to move forward, right? So we have to use these treasures that Baba has given us for service. To be multi-million times fortunate means to accumulate an income of multi-millions at every step. And as a multi-million times server, to use your every thought, word, deed, and connection for service. To be multi-million times fortunate means to accumulate an income of multi-millions at every step. Har kadam mein padam. And as a multi-million time server, to use your every thought, word, deed, and connection for service. One who is multi-million times fortunate is constantly generous hearted. So, what does it mean to be multi-million times fortunate? So, one is that that person, that soul, will be generous hearted and a great donor eternally and constantly. That one would be a bestower who constantly gives to others. Are we ready to give to others constantly? To be a great donor all the time? To be so generous hearted? We were talking about forgiveness the other day, right? Forgive. So that's the true nature of human consciousness, to give, really. That's what serves the soul most, to give. So if we want to give, what do we have to do? We have to first fill ourselves, right? So let's say somebody has done something, or maybe not done something, but you're still holding grudges. Then what happens? Are you ready to give forgiveness to that soul? Are you so generous hearted to forgive that soul? And if not, then you won't be multi-million times fortunate. So such souls would not be servers according to the program or facilities, but constantly great donors. Such souls would not be servers according to the program or facilities, but constantly great donors. If they don't serve through words, they would serve through their thoughts and deeds. Through their connections and relationships, they would be constant servers with their unending and constant treasures in one or another way. Yes, to be constant servers, to be able to give constantly through thoughts, words, and deeds. You see, sometimes we think that only when we say something will it work, but actions speak louder than our words, and thoughts also have powerful energy. So, if we are not able to speak, it's okay. Speaking is also important, actually. In the world out there, they say silence is golden, but speech is also silver. So while we are learning how to practice silence, we also have to learn how to master speech. When to speak, when not to speak, how much to speak, how much not to speak, what to speak, and what not to speak, to whom to speak, to whom not to speak, right? So all of those things, are very important. But if we can't speak for whatever reason, we can at least serve through thoughts and then also through our actions. So there would be different forms of service, but the wave of service would constantly continue. Just as you are a constant yogi, so be a constant server. You see, the interesting thing is that we have four subjects in this study: knowledge, yoga, service, the inculcation of divine virtues. So if we get tired of one subject, we can quickly switch to the other subject. Change of subject is in a way refreshing, and so it can help us allay any boredom that we may have as we go on the spiritual journey. And even in each subject, there are sub subjects. So in service, there are many different subjects: service through thoughts, service through words, service through actions, service through connections. So Baba is saying just keep doing service no matter what. Just like we are constant yogis, similarly, we have to become constant servers. A constant server constantly eats the elevated fruit of service and also continues to give it to others. That is, he himself eats the fruit all the time and thereby becomes a practical embodiment. So, this is very important. See, we have to create such abundance for ourselves that neither do we feel deprived nor do we deprive others of what is their right as well. You see, if we are not able to pull enough energy from Baba, then somewhere there'll be emptiness within. Now, that emptiness, somehow or the other, let's say you're able to overcome that feeling of emptiness and give to the other soul, it won't work that much. Even if it works initially, eventually your lack of fullness, lack of abundance, will pull back that energy. You see, you will suck the energy from the other soul back to yourself, so that other person will also feel empty. So we have to work on ourselves a lot to make ourselves full to that extent that we can enjoy that fullness, but then we can pass that what we have accumulated to others. Multi-million times fortunate souls would always be seated on a lotus seat. Yeah, so first they will be generous hearted and they will serve. The second, they will always be seated on a lotus seat. That is, they would always be in the stage of a lotus flower. They would be detached from the attractions of anything limited and detached from accepting limited fruit. They would be detached from the attractions of anything limited and detached from accepting limited fruit, and so would be loved by the Father, the Brahmin family, and the world. Such constant server souls are constantly offered flowers of happiness by everyone with love from their hearts. Bapdada himself offers flowers of love to such constant serving, multi-million times fortunate souls. Multi-million times fortunate souls constantly give other souls light with their sparkling stars of fortune to make them fortunate. Yeah, this sentence is in alignment with what we talked about earlier, what Baba said earlier about that you have to be full so that you can give to others. Yes, so we have to be detached, we have to live like a lotus flower. We don't need anything limited at this time. Limited fruit, limited recognition. So, all of those things, when we free ourselves from those, then we will get love from Baba automatically. So, multi million times fortunate souls constantly give other souls light with their sparkling stars of fortune to make them fortunate. Bab Dada was seeing such fortunate souls. So, who was Baba seeing? Each one of us. See yourself sitting in front of God. All of us sitting in front of God. And Baba is looking at each one of us, saying, wow, my multi million times fortunate children. So Bab Dada was seeing such fortunate souls, whether they are far away or personally in front of Baba, they constantly have the Father merged in their heart. This is why those who are equal remain close. Now ask yourself what type of fortunate soul you are. You can know yourself, can you not? Yeah, so 100 times fortunate, 1,000 times fortunate, 100,000 times fortunate, or multi million times fortunate. Yes, everybody is multi million times fortunate. Yes. Anyone here who is less than multi million times fortunate? No one, right? So now ask yourself what type of fortunate soul you are. You can know yourself, can you not? You may or may not accept something when others tell you, but you yourself can know what type of soul you are. Do you understand? Nevertheless, Babdada says, at least you have become fortunate from being unfortunate. You will at least become free from the many types of sorrow and suffering. You will at least become the masters of heaven. One is to go to heaven. And just like we talked about in yesterday's, the day before yesterday's Murli, yeah, Baba had mentioned, one is to go to heaven. Yeah, we will all go to heaven. But then what will be our status? So Baba is saying the other is to claim a right to the kingdom. Whether we will be on the royal gaddi, a royal throne, we'll be part of the royal family, closely connected to the royal family, or we'll be part of the subjects. All of you will go to heaven, but ask yourself when and where you will come in heaven. So, one is our status in heaven, but also whether we will come early on in heaven or later. Who wants to come later? Any takers for later? No? No takers for later? Everybody wants to come in the beginning? One, one, one. Yeah, why not come then when everything is brand new? So your name has already been written in Babdada's list for going to heaven. This is better than for anyone else in the world. However, it is not the best of all. So what will you do? Yeah, Baba is not happy with our mediocre effort. Baba doesn't want us to just get to heaven. Baba wants us to be the best of the best. So what will you do? Which zone will claim number one? Each zone has its own speciality. So what is the speciality of Maharashtra? Do you know? So there were souls from Maharashtra sitting in front of Baba at that time. So do you know? You are great anyway, but what is a speciality that is remembered of you. Ganesh is worshipped a great deal in Maharashtra. What is Ganesh also called? The destroyer of obstacles. Whenever people begin a task, they first give salutations to Ganesh. So, what will those from Maharashtra do? You will invoke Sri Ganesh for every task, will you not? Maharashtra means the state of those who are constantly destroyers of obstacles. Maharashtra means a state of those who are constantly destroyers of obstacles. So, shall we take a moment to see ourselves as Ganesh? Big head, a big trunk, big tusks, one broken and one intact, small eyes, small mouth, big ears, a big belly. We are powerful yet gentle. We are wise yet humble. Yeah, and we are destroyers of obstacles. So always be a destroyer of obstacles and show this greatness for yourself and for others. So we have to become such elevated souls that we not only are able to destroy our own obstacles, but we have to have the ability to destroy other people's obstacles. Let it come and salute you from a distance. Yeah. The stage that we become destroyers of obstacles, let it come and salute you from a distance. So you have brought a group of such destroyers of obstacles, have you not? Maharashtra has constantly to show this greatness of itself to the world. You're not those who are afraid of obstacles, are you? You are the destroyers of obstacles who challenge others. In any case, Maharashtra shows a lot of bravery. Maharashtra is the state where Shivaji was there, right? Shivaji is considered to be the epitome of bravery. So, we have to become brave, not be afraid of obstacles. In fact, we have to challenge them, we have to destroy them for ourselves and for everyone around us. Acha. And then the UP group was also in front of Baba. What wonders will those from UP show? What is the speciality of UP? There are many pilgrimage places and many rivers there. All the Jagat Gurus are also there. There are 4 Jagat Gurus in the 4 corners, are they not? There are many Mahamandleshwars in UP. The doorway to Hari, that is Haridwar in UP, is special. So let there be many servers in UP who show the doorway to Hari. Hari is God. Yeah. So there is a city in UP, Uttar Pradesh, in the northern part of India, called as Haridwar. So what does it mean? Dwar means the doorway, yeah, and Hari means God. So those from UP have to be the ones who show the door to God or doorway to God. Because UP is a pilgrimage place, there are many guides there. They are those who eat and drink, but you are the spiritual server, guides who show the true path. They are not ones who waste their time, their lives in eating and drinking, but we are spiritual server guides who show the true path, who celebrate a meeting with the Father, and who bring others close to the Father. Who celebrate a meeting with the Father and who bring others close to the Father. Are there such special Pandavas who are the guides in UP? UP has to reveal its form of the Pandavas practically as being the guides. Yes, so they have to become those who show the doorway to God Haridwar. They have to show the Haridwar and also become guides. So, yeah, it's the same thing. When they show the doorway to God, to people, what do they become? They become guides. So, for Maharashtra, Baba is hoping that these souls will become courageous, destroyers of obstacles. And for those from UP, Baba wants them to become guides, showing the doorway to God to everybody. Hmm. Acha. Then Mysore souls were probably also sitting there. What is the speciality of Mysore? There is sandalwood there. Yeah, Mysore is in Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Kerala. Where is Mysore?
Karnataka,
Karnataka. So
the
what is
twin city to Bangalore.
Acha? So they're very close to each other.
Yeah, very close to each other.
Acha. So what is the speciality of Mysore? There is sandalwood there and also special gardens there. So those from Karnataka especially have to become constant spiritual roses and fragrant sandalwood. So, what is Baba wanting the souls from Karnataka to become? Constant spiritual roses and fragrant sandalwood. Spread the fragrance of sandalwood and of spiritual roses and make the world into a garden. Spread the fragrance of sandalwood into the world. What is Baba saying? Give the tilak of sandalwood and make everyone fragrant and cool. In the south, they have these small sticks of sandalwood and they grind it or they rub it against a grinding stone, and whatever paste gets created, then they apply it on their forehead. As it is considered to have a lot of medicinal properties. It's supposed to cool the head. So we have to give this tilak of sandalwood, not necessarily that sandalwood, but it is the sandalwood of love and kindness. Yes, so we have to make everyone fragrant and cool. So sandalwood is also cool. So the maximum number of spiritual roses will emerge from Karnataka, will it not? This means to show the practical proof. Now everyone has to show the practical form of their own speciality. You have to bring the maximum number of fragrant spiritual roses that are in full bloom. You have brought them, some of you have brought them, but you haven't brought a bouquet. Acha, Baba has spoken a lot of praise of the foreign lands. The speciality of abroad is that you become very detached and also become very attached. Seeing the loving detachment of the children from abroad, so there were double foreigners sitting in front of Baba as well. So, seeing the loving detachment of the children from abroad, Bab Dada is pleased. That life has now become the past. To the extent that you were trapped, to that extent, you have now become detached. This is why Bab Dada loves the detachment and the lovingness of those from abroad. This is why Bab Dada is also giving special love and remembrance. You have become merged in your own speciality, have you not? You're so detached and loving, are you not? You don't have any attachment, do you? Nevertheless, those from abroad have come home as guests, and so the guests are always kept at the front. This is why the people of Bharat have special happiness seeing those from abroad. There are some who come as guests and settle down as hosts. This is this has always been the activity of those from abroad. They come as guests and settle as hosts. They have nevertheless broken many barriers and come to the Father. So you would say, you first, would you not? In any case, Bharat has its own speciality and abroad has its own speciality. Acha. And then the salutations to all the multi-million times fortunate souls. To all the multi-million times fortunate souls. Again, not 100 times fortunate, not 1,000 times, not 100,000 times, but multi-million times fortunate souls. who are seated on the lotus seat. To those who are constantly well-known goddesses with 84 bells in every thought and at every second. Yeah, so every moment, every second, every thought, we have to use it in a worthwhile way for the service of mankind, either through thoughts, either through words or actions, or even through connections. So, will you now ring the bells in 84, or should we wait even longer? Yeah, it was 1984, right? This Murli was from 1984. So, in 1984, will we ring these 84 bells, or should we wait even longer? Baba is asking. Abroad, people are living in fear, wondering when the bells will be rung. Will the lands abroad ring the bells, or will this land ring them? 84 means the bells will ring everywhere. At the end of any function, when they do the arti, that is a special worship ritual with lamps on a tray, they ring the bells very loudly and then the ceremony is completed. To do the arti means it is the end. So, what will you do now? So, Baba started the salutations, and then again, Baba is taking salutations up again. So, to all the multi-million times fortunate souls who are seated on the lotus seat, to those who are constant servers at every second and in every thought, to master bestowers who constantly give all treasures with a generous heart. So, we need to be able to accumulate so much that we can use it for ourselves and for service of others. To those who make others complete with their own completion, or it could be those who make themselves complete through serving others, making them complete. So these two processes have to happen in a parallel fashion. To those who have a right to the elevated fortune, to those who have a right to the elevated fortune, to the worthy children who constantly give elevated proof. Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. So, Baba, happy today. Many people happy. Those from UP, those from Maharashtra, and those from Karnataka, and even the double foreigners. Yes, but now there is a special meeting with those from Punjab. The father is sitting here, and so you don't need to think about anything. Whatever happens will be beneficial. Yeah, in 1980s, there was a lot of unrest in Punjab, lot of terrorism and things like that. So there was a little bit of fear in everybody's minds, everybody's hearts. So Baba is saying you don't have to think about anything. Whatever happens will be beneficial. You belong to everyone. You're neither Hindus nor Sikhs. You belong to the Father, and so you belong to everyone. In Pakistan, too, they used to say you are the people who belong to God. And it's so interesting that when these Muslims would try to come and they wanted to kill all the Hindus, and they were all Hindus, these Baba's children. And so when they came, somehow or the other, Baba touched these souls, these dadis, to say that we are Khudai Khidmatgars. So they thought that they are Muslims, so they didn't touch any of Baba's children. So Baba's children remained safe through that extreme turmoil that happened during partition. Khudai Khidmatkar. You don't have a connection with anything. This is why you belong to God and not to anyone else. No matter what happens, you are not those who become afraid. Yeah, I think day before yesterday when we were reading the Murli, at that time too, Baba was addressing those from Punjab. Baba was saying that those from Punjab are fearless. Yeah, so no matter what, we cannot become afraid. No matter how much fire there is, the kittens will remain safe. However, only those who are yog yukt will remain safe. Let it not be that you say that you belong to the Father and you remember someone else. Such souls will not receive help. Don't be afraid, don't have any fear, but continue to move forward. Move forward in the pilgrimage of remembrance, in imbibing virtues, and in studying in all subjects. The more you move forward, the more easily you'll continue to attain. I think I'll stop here. There is so much more. Baba is talking about special actors in this world drama. You have become worth diamonds from shells. You're messengers of God. You are the masters of the mind of happiness. See, again, Baba is reminding us that we are the confluence agent, Brahmin souls, true Brahmins, top knot. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll stop here. That was enough, I think. Multi million times fortunate souls. Souls who are full, who enjoy that fullness for themselves, but also are able to pass along that fullness to others. Those who are constantly seated on the lotus throne. Yes, those who serve at every moment, in every thought, in every word, in every action, through every connection and relationship. Yes, destroyers of obstacles, fearless, courageous, right? For Maharashtra, for UP, guides leading the way towards God, Haridwar, and then for Karnataka, becoming like real roses and sandalwood paste. Right? And then Punjab, Baba said that you have to be fearless. Baba is there, Baba will take care of everyone. Nothing needs to be worried about. Okay? Om Shanti. Let's take a minute to process all of these things that we have heard. I hope some of you were taking down notes. If not, that's okay too, because this is being recorded and I'll send it into the group soon after editing. It's not
Yeah.
tough actually, it's very easy. You see, if you look at a tap, what does the tap do? It constantly gives because it is attached to the main water supply. In the tap's best interest to keep giving, because if it doesn't give, then water will become stagnant. You see, stagnant water is no fun. Give so that you can live. For not giving means you shall perish. Why are we not able to enjoy life right now? Why are we slowly dying, slowly killing ourselves? It's because we are not willing to give. The more we give, the more we shall live. In fact, more we shall thrive. It's not about survival, really. It is about survival too, but in fact, it is more about thriving. The more you give, the more you will thrive. So now you tell me, is it difficult to give? This song, I remember this was from my childhood. I have been listening to this song. It was one of my dad's favorite songs. Sagar Sawan Deta Hai. मधुबन खुशबू देता है सागर सावन देता है जीना उसका जीना है जो औरों को जीवन देता है what a beautiful song सागर सावन देता है मधुबन खुशबू देता है you see river never drinks its own water a tree never eats its own fruit I have said this many, many times. Let's say you feel I don't want to give out my breath, then you shall die. Only when you let go of your breath, you exhale, can you take in the next breath. Deep stuff. So it's not actually difficult to give, it's actually difficult not to give. And that's why we are so uncomfortable right now, so unhappy, in such miserable states. देना शुरू कर दो, अभी खुशियां आ जाएगी लाइफ में. You'll start thriving.